Carlito. What up, cuz?
Hey, I didn't told. Check him out. What's going on with you, cuz?
It's another gorgeous Sunday. It's snowing here for a day because March
Huh?
is a shifty so and so. So sometimes in March it'll snow one day, and it's fucking snowing. It's some light shit though, but yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait for April because I'm over this. Peace to everybody in the chat. Those coming in. I see some
Peace,
people
peace, peace.
in the building, but they not in the chat, but they here.
All right.
Peace to y'all. So we are counting down till May 8th because May 8th is the start of green corn. Depending on which tribal nation you're from, you're going to be celebrating in May, June, or July. So I know the Yamasee tribe of Seminoles is celebrating May 8th. Anybody in the
Right.
chat, when are you celebrating? Y'all can share in the chat. Thank you. So what's the topic that we discussing today, cuz on our Sunday panel discussion?
Well, you won't believe what I saw, right? Um, People, if you of a tribal nation, you supposed to know your tribal stories. You're supposed to know your migration story, and you're supposed to know your creation story. Now, I see why it came out with the term that they use for those who claim to be Aboriginal or Indigenous or American Indian. The term is called pretendian and werewolves, right?
Which is
And
derogatory.
right, but I see why it's being said now because on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, you have people who look like you and I who say they have indigenous mothers and fathers. They saying that America is Egypt, the Nile is the Mississippi, that they are Tartarians, that they are Tamarians, that they are Atlanteans. They say all these things, and yet none of these tribal nations that they claim say any of those things.
And
And
that's a small percentage of people. Everybody don't be spitting that though.
oh no, you haven't been watching. You haven't been watching. It's ridiculous. When I say it's ridiculous, it is ridiculous that you have people in them that is spewing this misinformation. And it's not no hateful, because I'm telling you, it's not. You don't you don't see the shit that I see.
No, I mean I see shit. I do. I do. I do see the people that's spewing that bullshit. I do. But I'm just saying that's not everybody, basically. But you just talking to those that are doing that bullshit.
When I say no, when I say they have thousands of followers on fucking TikTok, thousands of followers that's actually spewing this bullshit.
And you know, people are nosy. They gonna follow for the bullshit.
Guess what? That shit is doing more harm than help. And you have those like our nephew Wale Origin, plus ourselves, that's putting out proper information. Hey, what's going on, cousin Chico? What's up, nephew Wale
Peace,
Origin? You know,
peace,
and
peace,
and
family.
And then when they get the information that we put out there, they're trying to spin it to their narrative and everything, like they're the ones that said it. But yet, when we hear it, we know where it comes from. But they're not teaching it properly. They are adding bullshit to the truth.
Wow.
And that is detrimental to those who actually trying to seek of dealing with their family heritage and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's I mean, in everything it's gonna be people that misrepresent shit. They gonna be fucking up. But they don't speak for me, they don't speak for us. So as long as we
No,
keep doing what we doing, you know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
all that's all we can
Yeah,
do is share.
we doing what we doing, but still at the same time, we getting the blunt of their bullshit. Because the first thing they go say, "Oh, you are pretending," until they hear otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they need to know the corn from the wheat,
We
right?
from the stairs, yeah.
But yet you got people in them that be like, "Oh, roll the corn," and the people are Hebrews and all that. That like, when did the tribal people even say anything like that? How? Oh,
It's
they're
because
Moors.
they're
They're
holding
Moors
on.
or they're Moors. Like, no, who said that? And then the thing that get me, they say, "Oh, the Washington Moors." Like, come on. Empress Yacitora Washington Turner Ghosting, right? She did not say none of that until the 1990s. In the 1980s, she was not saying no Washington Moors or Mirror. That happened way later. So when you have people in them that claim that, I'm like, okay, you say you are, well, what language did this come from? What language did the Washington speak? Because if you say that the Washington said it, okay, what language did the Washington speak? In order to say word, I'll wait. I can tell y'all when she got gifted with the title LB from those brothers who came down from Baltimore. That was under the auspices of CMB, and that was in 1993. But before that, she didn't have no title of LB. Before that, she didn't
and
get that
people
until 1993.
and people that are using that together, it looks like they are not using it in the context of, like, even when I shared the caste system, how okay, if your mother or your father is a Moor and your parent gets with an indigenous person, they're not saying it in that aspect. They trying to like put the narratives together, which is the fuck up, basically. They not speaking from like their parents, like one parent is a Moor and the other one is indigenous. They not speaking on that. Not all of them that I know of. A lot of them are grouping it together, and that is not how it was truly intended to be. And I get that. And I'm just sharing the narrative so people that are looking, they can hear the other side of the shit.
Yeah, and then you got people them talking about, oh, Noble Dry Lee and her cousins, and I'm like, how? Oh, um, Elias Turner is Noble Dry Lee mother, and I'm like, nah, that's wrong. That's not right.
And where are they getting that information from?
Well, that was a person um who um what's his name? The dude Ali, he put it out there, and then Aline, he put it out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, y'all sure love putting out misinformation. And I remember I showed them in 2012 the people who they claimed to be Noble Drew Ali parents. These people was dead 20 something up years before Noble Drew Ali was even born. So how could John A. Quickman and the Liz Tunica even be his parents? These people was dead 20 something years before Noble Drew Ali was even born.
Yeah, they didn't do that genealogy right, did
We
they?
didn't get the genealogy right. And it was like, well, Pa, how you got the information? Dude, whoever y'all said the parents was, the only thing I did was go look it up. I looked up the genealogy, and Noble Drew Ali ain't nowhere on there as Timothy Drew or any other Timothy in no shape, form, or fashion. But then you got people talking about, oh, Noble Drew Ali was a Cherokee. Well, okay, I got a question for you. If his dad is supposed to have been a Cherokee and his mama's supposed to have been Washita, then how the fuck he become a Moorish American?
That's a religion, huh? Did he take it
No,
on?
they say Moorish American was their nationality. But
Oh, okay.
if his dad is supposed to have been Cherokee, like they say, oh, he grew up in the Cherokee reservation in North Carolina, and his mom is supposed to be Tunica, then how the fuck he's a Moorish American? If his daddy was Cherokee or Ayawea, right?
Wow.
His
Mhm.
mom is supposed to be of Washington and Tunica descent. How the hell he's a Moorish American from Morocco? I'm trying to figure this shit out. But yet you got people that's using that same information, misleading people, and they tell them, oh, this is Morocco, oh, Indiana. Indiana is Morocco, and the Morocco over there in Africa is the kingdom. And I'm like, dude, do y'all know how Morocco, Indiana got started? And then they tell the people, oh, in 1960 something, that's when the Morocco over there became a kingdom. I'm not like, no, dumbass. That's when Morocco had got its independence from France.
Yeah, well, this little if they just Google this, okay, it does say he does have a Cherokee ancestry,
That's a
but
lie.
it says that he taught misnomer Black Americans were descendant of Moabites and Canaanites. This is coming from religious aspects. I have a problem with that uh be, because people should not base their genealogy off of a religious book like the Bible, the Torah, the Tanakh, any religion that's based 9 times out of 10 these new religions are based off of somebody else's shit. It's not based off of your true genealogy, the tribal nations that are in your bloodline. So you taking on somebody else's perception of God, you taking on somebody else's religion and spirituality system, which is wrong. So I get where you're going with that. What they should be focusing on is their own genealogy instead of like trying to find all these leaders. First, you're supposed to be a leader yourself. People are still under that like Messiah type shit to where they got to find this
Their own
leader.
genealogy.
They got to find this leader and shit. But no, you don't have to find a leader. You can learn the truth about your family and then hook up with people that are a part of your tribal nation. Learn about your tribal nation's language, the ceremonies, the spirituality and culture, and practice it. Leave that religious shit over there because that really wasn't meant for you, for real. That's how I feel.
Right.
Peace, nephew. Peace,
Right.
Chico. I know cousin Lashonda. She probably in the background. Peace, Toho
If you
Coppertone.
was
I can't hear you if you're talking. You froze. I don't know what's going on with his we having technical difficulties, y'all. I'm gonna share this
oh
real quick. You good now? Because you was froze for a minute.
hold on, let me put them up right quick. Hold on.
All right, I'm gonna share this. So since we count down to green corn, y'all, this what I'm focused on. All right. So we count down to green corn. And we do have some merch if you want to represent, if you want to support. This design is basically patterned after one of our ceremonies that Southeastern tribes do. We celebrate green corn. All right. So if y'all want to support, y'all can cop some merch and wear during green corn. I know y'all going to some powwows around this time. So y'all can gear up. So we appreciate y'all. We just appreciate y'all support. So over here we represent our bloodlines individually and as a collective of real indigenous peoples. So we do have merch that complements that. So most of the people that's calling people derogatory names like pretendians and wabos, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. For the real ones, they are mad because we know our genealogy. So y'all big mad. I know my bloodline. So if y'all want to get a coffee tea mug, y'all want to get some shirts, a hoodie. Well, y'all gonna have the hoodies. Some people still wear hoodies in March because March is it ain't quite hot yet. It's right before spring. So if y'all wanna go cop that, we got that one. We got stand on business, represent your bloodline. Y'all can get that. We got the coffee mugs, we got t-shirts, we got hoodies. So those who love to represent, especially when it's spring and summer, y'all gonna be going to powwows and people doing all kind of events. They having indigenous fashion shows and little family reunions, powwows, etc. So y'all can represent. We got that one. And for the southeastern tribes with that southern slang, ebonics, etc. NegroIndian, I am. So if you're from the South or your people from the South, you have heard this word, engine. You got engine in your blood. So y'all can cop that. We got the shirts, we got the mugs, the coffee mugs, etc. We got hoodies, of course. So yeah, we got some heat over here. We got some fire. We keeping that sacred flame lit. So if y'all want to support, we appreciate y'all. Why don't you cookies on this cheek? So I just had to share that. And the link is always in our description. If y'all want to support, we appreciate y'all. And I did show the disclaimer, so that's already been on there. So I got our shit out. We good. So I know you on their head. What else you got to say, Pa? Are you I can't hear you if you're talking. You might be muted.
Yeah, I said, let me hopefully let me share
Okay.
the screen. Oh,
I'm gonna remove this and see if it'll pop up because I ain't seeing nothing. Okay. It's on there, but it's like slow.
you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
All right. It says, so who may concern, and y'all know who y'all are. The woman is turning at all. They say, and some of you Moors or murderers have claimed that noble dry lead mother to make him the fifth Marquis de Maison Rouge.
There's something going on with your audio.
I don't know why they're
That
messing
right there. Whatever you did
with
right there. Well, I can hear you.
it. But let's. Oh, okay. Is somebody posted that in their book, right? And they claim to be Washington, but they post that, right? So I click this, and that's who the lady is right there, right? That photo is from April the 12th of 1865. She was the cook for General Custer. That's General Custer and his wife. That's General Custer who had lost the war at Little Bighorn, okay, on the Battle of Washington, right? And this was in the person's book. And you can actually see who web page it is right there, right? Right? And these are people who have a lot of followers, right? But you can see this who they said this lady was, and that's not who she is. And they say this was the father of John. They say John A. Um, Drew Quitman, right? Full-blooded Cherokee. But oh boy, let's go right here. Let's see. Where is the That's that part, right? Now, um, they got another part that I want y'all to see. Uh,
It's Tojo, okay.
dealing with the dealing with the blood.
So basically, so why you looking through that? So basically, you're saying that
I'm
that's
trying to find.
misinformation.
I'm trying
That's
to find
so we can give context to
Virginia.
somebody that might have just clicked on this shit. That was misinformation, correct? He froze again.
the genealogy tree that I did for some reason it's not showing. For some reason it's not showing.
Okay. While you looking at that for that, and it's acting funny, this is just an overview right here. So even from what you just showed on that picture, it was like the opposite. But it said that he was founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Um, he was likely born in North Carolina, possibly to a former slave or Cherokee mother and Moorish father. This is what they saying, and I don't even know how we got here, but because I just put in what's his genealogy. So basically, according to this, he will be Cherokee and Moorish, according to this. So basically, he founded a religion.
Well, where the Morris Park come in at, but look right here, right? I said about Timothy Drew, aka Noble Drew Ali, parents being Elias Tunica and Quitman and John A. Quitman. Let it show on the record, by the record, and from the record that Timothy Drew, aka Noble Drew Ali, was born in North Carolina, as they so-called say, in 19 in on January the 8th,
And
1886, which they have put out, right? Now somebody was trying to put Noble Drew Ali into the Empress bloodline. Read the clip from the Washington in the Post, right? Now the question is why Ravani Bey done this? Question: how people that has been dead for 20 plus years give birth to Timothy Drew or Noble Drew Ali? Because John A. Quitman died in 1858 and Elias Tunica died in 1859. Question: how can a dead woman in 1859 give birth to Timothy Drew Ali in January the 8th of 1866? Well, take a look at the record here because the map don't lie. Let's go to it. All right. As you can see, right? As you can see, oh, come on. Y'all playing now. 99 and died in 1858, right? And his marriage was on the 20th December of 1824 in Adams County, Mississippi. Elizabeth and died in 1859. Now, here are the children. You got Edward Quitman, right? You got John A. Quitman Jr., you got Louisa T. Quitman, you got Frederick Henry Quitman, you got Sarah Elizabeth Quitman, you have T. Antonia, Quitman. You got Mary Geraldine Geraldine Quitman, right? You have Mary Frederica Quitman. You got Annie Rosalette Quitman. Theo, oh, I'm just gonna call it Theo Quitman. So these are the children right here. Nowhere is Timothy. Nowhere. And you can see the year that they was born. The first son, 1833. The second son, 1833. Right?
When was the last child born?
The last child was born in 1842.
And he was born in
The first
18.
child was born in 18, and he was born in 1886.
Now, was he born way late when the mother was real old, or is this some bullshit? Right?
The mama was dead. The mama died at 18. The mama died. The supposed
No,
to be mama died in 1859.
right, right.
I
That's
got it
why
circled right there.
I know I'm asking a. I'm being sarcastic and I'm asking a rhetorical question.
So when I showed this to old boy, he was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yo."
So maybe since you showed him that, he will share that information. What you think?
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
You know
He
what I'm
didn't do
saying?
it. They still they still perpetuating that lie.
Oh, okay. So he didn't show it at a later date. When did you show it to him? Today?
No, this was way them. Let me see when I did this. When I did this post,
I can't see that shit.
I did, I did this post way in 2021.
Oh, okay.
I did it in this 5 years later.
Oh. And so that same individual is still spewing that same stuff today?
Did you not? Did you not hear what I said?
I want you to I'm trying to for people that coming in and you just sharing all the stuff. So, I'm just reiterating what you said. So basically, today,
They
what,
they
5 years
they are
5 years later, he's still sharing that shit. Is what you saying?
they are a part. They are a part of the bullshit that with the rocks cry out. Him, Hakeem, him, many
Mhm.
other red hatters.
You got them some red hatters.
Cherry Fairs heads.
Oh my goodness. Well, at the end of the
Instead of
day,
teaching the people the right and the truth and the right information, they misleading people and they figure, oh, well, the Empress in them is a black Indian, so all this correlate with one another. No, it doesn't.
no, every nation has their own distinct thing. So they need to look at, like, again, we keep reiterating, look at your own genealogy. If you trying to follow the Moorish religion, that's a whole nother thing.
They say that's not a religion. They say that's their
That's
nationality.
right, right. I know what they say. I mean, I've dated a Moor and he was very
If a
knowledgeable.
religion is their nationality, then every nigga that's in the Baptist church, that would be their nationality.
Yeah, but yeah, the person that I dated, he wasn't on it on this bullshit that they fucking doing at all. But it's sad. It's sad. And what we can do is continue to focus on the truth, the real, the facts about the Southeastern tribes and go forward. Because we can't we can't dispel every bullshit thing that's out there. People gonna have to make a choice if they want to follow those people. Some people following them to be messy, some people following them because they actually want to follow them. I don't have nothing to do with that. But when they come over here, this is what they get. They get some real shit. That's what I'm concerned about.
True indeed. But I'm just letting you know where the bullshit is coming from.
Oh that's one of the people. It's a lot of people out there on some bullshit. Yes, it is.
You got another one who got a book that's called America, the Old World, and talking about how Memphis is Egypt in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, these these dudes here,
Yeah,
like, like why?
they
Why? And you wonder why people calling people pretendians because of shit like that they do. And everybody else who's doing right gotta feel the blunt of it. How they say the good gotta suffer for the bad?
well, guess what? Okay, I'm a calm down. Okay, calm down. Guess what? We gonna share the truth. That's what we gonna continue to do.
I'm gonna start putting out the truth.
If they want
And
some real shit,
hopefully
they can come
somebody
on.
will get,
Huh?
because Eileen was the ones that pushed it out there about this supposed to be Noble Drew Ali parents, but yet they said in the Moorish camp that Noble Drew Ali never told nobody who his parents was because he didn't want them to go and worship them. But all of a sudden you got this out and people in them saying that this is parents. And it's
Who are
not, that's not his parents. How these
who
people
are
gonna be
who
his
are
parents?
you?
Huh?
No, I'm talking to this person. Who are you? Uh, JoJo. Who are you?
Oh, they must won't come up.
Yeah, but I'm screening them. Who are you? Because if you coming in love and you trying to share some truth, cool. But if you on some bullshit, I love to delete and block. So, what do you have to say? Give us a premise of what you want to discuss before I share the link. Jojo. All right. Once you put the subject matter that you want to discuss, or you got some questions or comments, once you put that in the chat, then I may share the link. I'm screening. So on another note, while he's this person is making up their mind that they what they want to share. On another note, let's
But
see.
you know what? It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's the people fault for not doing due diligence or doing investigation. You know, it's just like them believing the teacher and they believe the teacher and all is there, but never go back. Or just like a Christian that sit in the pew and just listen to the pastor preach, but never go do the investigation and study thyself to show themselves approved. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right,
it's not the people that putting out information. It's the people folk who not going to do due diligence to find out that the misinformation is misinformation.
right. I would say one of the telltale signs is if it got some kind of religion attached to it that is not a part of your indigenous tribal nation, you want to question it. If it got some religious elements to it, you want to question it. Cause that Messiah shit, that shit is that shit is over with. You have to save your own self. So you don't need all these other religions and these philosophies with these religious elements in it. You want to question that shit. Fact check. Fact check.
They must not won't come up because they didn't put what they want to talk about.
Oh, I mean, I said share the subject matter that you want to discuss. If you share it in the chat, then I will share the link. Jojo W8H5B. Let me know. Let us know in the chat what you want to discuss, and then I'll drop that link. So over here, we not talking about uh the Moorish nationality or the Moorish ideology philosophy. This is not what we stand for. I understand it on some shit that people that actually practice that and is doing things decent and in order for them. I get that. But when you mixing it and trying to do some other shit, I ain't with that.
And now they're saying that the Moors are the indigenous people of North America.
I mean, they need to change their wording. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. Now, if they got some Spanish Moors in their bloodline, you know, it's a part of their genealogy, and they come in like, okay, these Moors were in their
Bloodline.
genealogy family tree.
Right,
Right.
right.
If they was coming like that, then we could understand it. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Well, I they ain't saying nothing. Um,
Mm.
so anything else you wanted to rebuke? Anything else you wanted to rebuke today?
Yeah, it's like
Before I
if
share.
that was the if that was the case, the tribal people didn't know nothing about the Bible until the colonizers came. Why the people in them didn't know nothing about the Torah and all that there beforehand? They're just the questions that I have. Why people didn't know nothing about the Bible until colonization?
Because it's a remix of a remix of a remix of a man-made philosophy and a whole bunch of old stories remixed and remixed and remixed and
Because
thrown at the
you gotta remember when the Castilians in them came over here in the 1500s, they had the Roman Catholic Bible. That was before the King James Bible was even written in 1611. So you had Catholicism in the southeast and the south coast before the English in them came with the King James version of the Bible.
yeah, because Catholicism is the mother of Christianity, basically.
Right.
So
And then some people say, well, what about the Ethiopian Bible? Well, have they noticed that the Ethiopian Bible wasn't even much written in Ethiopia? It was written in Constantinople around the time of the Byzantine Empire, or over
that's
most people.
that's for you Coptic Christians out there.
Because how the Bible talk about the Ethiopian eunuch in there before the Ethiopian Bible was even written, because that's supposed to be the eunuch to write the Bible. But this will happen when people be so religious. You know what I'm saying? That it would tribal stuff. I hate.
Religion, it clouds shit.
So you have anything to say, cuz? You got anything to say, cuz?
Well, since we counting down to green corn, in which we will share more on green corn, closer to, that time. But I did want to share this. So this is the Chata perception of green corn. So it's one of our important ceremonies, ceremonial time. So this person had posed a question, and so they are answering it basically. All right. So right here. All right. So we'll start right here. The green corn ceremony is the most important social spiritual event in the traditional seasonal round of the Chata and other tribes that are indigenous to what is now the southeastern United States. Held at the ripening of the corn crop in late July, it was and is a time of community building, rekindling friendships, reconciliation, purification, restoring balance, making new beginnings, and giving praise and thanksgiving to the Creatress Creator, Great Spirit, Great Mystery, etc. Um, it appears that in the Chata language, Okisi, Okissa, or fast, was probably the term most likely used in the past to refer to the green corn ceremony. Although Tenchushi Hilha, young corn dance, may have been used to describe the accompanying dances. The specific elements of the green corn ceremony varied between Chata communities, but they share basic parts that date back unknown centuries in what is now the southeastern United States. Even as early as the mid 1700s, James Adair noted that the green corn ceremony was no longer being practiced in the Chata communities that he observed. Yeah, that he observed. They didn't let him see the shit. That's what I gathered. This was likely because of the population loss and stress these communities were facing at the time as a result of being pulled into an ongoing military conflict between the French and English. Percent to be, all right. Still, the green corn ceremony survived among some Choctaw communities. And in the 1830s, it was carried from Mississippi over the Trail of Tears and reestablished in Oklahoma. The Choctaw Green Corn ceremony has received much less written attention than the equivalent ceremonies of other southeastern tribes like the Muskogee Creeks. This is because Choctaw practitioners made a concerted effort to protect it from outside observation and interference, sometimes stopping the entire proceedings if they felt threatened by an observer. Today, just as in the past, some of the parts of the Choctaw Green Corn ceremony are private in nature and not intended for publication. The following research excluded these details and draws mostly from the published sources. The best written description of the Choctaw Green Corn ceremony comes from an account by Lucy Cherry, a Choctaw born in Scullyville, Oklahoma in 1869. Her words portray a green corn ceremony held at Kavanaugh in the Sugarloaf Mountains, probably in the late 1800s. Preparations began a week before the event, with men hunting deer, squirrels, bear, and killing hogs and cattle. Green corn was also harvested from the fields. The families gathered up the food they had obtained, along with many of the household furnishings, and headed for the dance grounds. The green corn ceremony lasted 4 days. The first day was filled with setting up camp and reestablishing connections with old friends who had come for this occasion. Food was cooked and eaten in common. On the second day, everyone fasted, while the Choctaw medicine person, the Choctaw doctor, Alikji, administered herbal drinks to participants that purged their bodies. So they were doing purification, cleansing, fasting. Afterwards, the males and females were bathed separately in a purifying herbal solution. That night, participants went to sleep without eating, so they fasted. Sometime during the third day, they broke their fast with a feast. That evening, the main part of the stomp dance was held. Its beginning was announced by a beating of the drum. A man took a place on the dance ground near the central fire and prayed in the Choctaw language, thanking the Creator for blessings that the community had received. Then the dance began around the fire. A male caller led the vocal portion of the dance and was echoed by the other male dancers. Females danced with the skillful double step, keeping the rhythm using turtle shell rattles fastened to their lower legs. All right. This is according to this Choctaw lady, Miss Cherry. The men also had shells fastened to their upper legs. The dance lasted until sunrise. The fourth day, the green corn ceremony was spent in visiting friends and relatives and breaking camp. In the traditional Choctaw way of thinking, every part of the green corn ceremony has spiritual significance. As mentioned by Cherry, the dances for the green corn ceremony, as well as some others held during different parts of the year, are traditionally conducted on a dance ground. A dance ground is a special area prepared by an alikji, a medicine person, who beseeches the Creator to bless. A new dance ground can only be started with the assistance of the other members, they say staff, from a previously established dance ground. At the center of the dance ground is a fire, a sacred fire, considered sacred by practitioners. Some early Choctaws apparently called it Luak Hashtali Itichapa, or fire, the friend of the Creator. Around the central fire is the dance area, usually cleared free of brush and debris by fasting individuals before or during the early part of the green corn ceremony. Outside of the dance area are four brush arbors set in four cardinal directions to form a square. Each of these is assigned to representatives of one of the tribes of the Four Mothers Society. Camp houses may be located beyond the arbors for family to prepare food. At the green corn ceremony, dances are usually done in parts of four and proceed counterclockwise around the fire. Through the night, new callers arise to lead dances until the sun comes up. Two early participants, stated that the dances used by the Choctaw were basically the same as those of the Cherokee, the Anianwaya, the Salagi, the Creek, the Chickasaw. Okay, so they are similar dances. One writer has succinctly drawn together how practitioners view all of the above. Southeastern people believe that the stomp dance grounds is analogous to a church, but it's on a whole nother level. All right. The songs are like prayers or affirmations, I would say, and those prayers travel with the smoke up to the creator. In the past, it appears that at least some Choctaw communities made their laws during the green corn ceremony, and that the leaders spoke to the people about appropriate moral conduct. Many of the tribes and the host equivalents of the green corn ceremony extinguished all of the fires in the camp during the event. After rekindling the fire at the center of the dance ground, practitioners use its coals to relight all the other fires, focusing on forgiveness and renewal. That same practice was followed by at least some of the Choctaw communities in the past, maybe evidenced in Hatiluak Mushol, the name of a summer month in the traditional Choctaw calendar, which means when the fires are extinguished. All right. In the late 1800s, at the same time, Cherry, she was participating in the green corn. So, traditional Choctaw people were facing increasingly forceful pressure to assimilate into surrounding Euro American societies. Seeking support, some Choctaw traditionalists joined with their counterparts in the Cherokee, Creek, Seminole, and Chickasaw tribes to organize the Four Mothers Society. So these four members from these four tribes came together to form this Four Mothers Society. The purpose of the society was to hold on to traditional tribal life ways and values, expressed in part through the green corn ceremony. At roughly the same time, Choctaw communities residing in Mississippi and Louisiana were also holding on to their traditional dances and dance grounds. However, by the early 1900s, the Choctaw green corn ceremony largely fades from written reference, with one exception. Okay. This community was made up of a group of Choctaws who left Meridian, Mississippi on December 14th, 1902. They were led by Arnold, a resident of Ardmore, who through deception intended to sell them as slaves once they reached Oklahoma. So they going into this story, but I read this to just show a glimpse of how the Chata celebrate the green corn ceremony. And four four tribal nations, people from four tribal nations got together to form this Four Mother Society to hold on to the traditions, values, and morals ceremony of indigenous people of the southeastern tribes. So even though they tried to bring that Anglo religions, colonizer religions, they held on to traditional ceremonies. So I did want to share that. So that's just a premise of the Chata's green corn ceremony. And leading up to Green Corn, we'll share other Southeastern tribal nations, like an overview of what green corn is like for those various tribes. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Peace, cousin Lashonda.
Yahtzee.
So that was just an overview since we counting down to green corn, which the Yamasee tribe of Seminoles are celebrating starting May 8th. Just so y'all know. So I don't know what Pa doing, but Pa, you there? Anybody going to green corn? Did anybody want to come on and share? Um, if y'all sharing, something that is, respectful or about Southeastern tribes, ceremony, information, facts, genealogy, things of that nature. Yeah, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna see if y'all got any comments or questions.
Hello, Moto.
I'm done reading about the green corn ceremony according to the Chata.
All right, all right, all right. Peace, 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 Lashonda.
Yeah, if you got anything else you want to share with the people,
No, that would be it.
that would be it.
That would be
Mhm.
it.
So basically, we had a short and sweet, a raw first half, where Pa did rebuke those people that are out there spewing misinformation. He had to rebuke them. He had to pull out the red stick a little bit and, you know, check them, and
I,
then
I
shared
wanted,
premise
I
of
wanted to see what I wanted to see what JoJo's talking about.
yeah. What's up, JoJo? JoJo ain't put nothing in the chat. I guess I guess he ain't on nothing positive, or he or she ain't on nothing positive because they didn't put in the chat like the subject matter that they want to discuss. So I'm screening people. That's what I'm doing. So if you want some positive shit, and even if you type, this is for anybody, even if you type a subject matter of what you want to discuss, and you just do that, and you own some other shit, and when you get on here, you start on some other shit, I'm gonna just like delete you and block you. But if you on some, like I said, positive stuff about facts and sharing truth, and you come in love and peace, we welcome you. We do.
Peace.
Peace. Is that a fleur de lis that you got
Yeah,
in there?
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fair.
You
We
Creole,
just,
you
just
Boston, Boston Nola, Pono. 7958.
Just want people to tell the truth, man. That's all. Tell the truth. Don't
Yep.
mislead people. Don't
Right.
mislead. Y'all to feel bad about misleading people.
Not if they feel it's the truth. They don't think that they misleading people. If they think it's the truth. That's the crazy thing. If they think it's the truth, they feel like they ain't misleading nobody.
It's crazy.
Hey, people usually, when you see people with a lot of followers, there are some people with a lot of followers that they do share some real shit, and it took them a while to build their platform. But there are people that have a lot of followers and they all about, you know, debating and rah rah and a mess and drama all the fucking time. People tune in for that shit. It's entertainment to people. They will follow your ass just to be nosy and all that shit. And then you have those people that share misinformation, but you do have people that do share the truth. You know, like
What?
I rocks with several people. When's the last time you been on the autonomous party, cuz?
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll still be, watching some of their stuff, bits and pieces. And of course, I'll be looking at nephews, bits and pieces. So if y'all
Nephew,
know,
nephew was on this morning, and we was dropping
uh,
information. He was dropping some real good information this morning.
that's
Y'all
what's
need
up.
to check out the podcast. While they are just check out his podcast. What I'm saying? That's where you get the true, unadulterated information from. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, check out his podcast. Check out Southeastern TalkingStick podcast. Check out Autonomous Party. It's a lot of good ones out there. They're sharing some real shit, and they'll present information and help y'all dissect it or have a discussion about the information that they sharing and different
Somebody
definitions,
somebody
etc.
said Samuel. Somebody said Samuel C. I don't know who that is.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Yeah, so yeah, I rocks with people that they own some real shit. Whatever your subject matter is, if it's about indigenous stuff, there are select people I watch. If it's about Creole spirituality, there's some people that I watch. I do my own shit too. Um, so I rocks with Creole and indigenous podcasts.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, he on TikTok.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I do rocks with legendary top cats on some of his stuff. When he bring receipts on some things. I've seen him on 363 on Brother Rich's channel, and he has some receipts for the subject matter that Brother Rich wanted him to talk about. Uh Angel Centino. Yeah, I know he has a YouTube channel. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's people out there, sharing information.
No, Samuel was on TikTok.
Uh, oh, Samuel. Okay, I don't know who Samuel C is, but okay, that's what's up. Okay, yeah, find yourself in the story. That's what's up, and that's what people should be, pushing. Like, do your own genealogy, learn about your people stuff because we've been we have grew up. I don't know about everybody, but I know, even though I knew about some of my indigenous ancestry, I still was raised in a Christian household. So if people that are raised in different religions, think about, we spent time celebrating the religious shit that wasn't even meant for us. We spent years celebrating that shit. Now that you coming in to the truth of who you are, who your genealogy is, your ancestry, etc., as much energy that you was using to celebrate those colonizers, holidays, and religions, focus that energy on celebrating your tribal nations, ceremonies, etc. Okay, that's what's up, Chitamacha, Louisiana. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I mean, I gotta do this right. Because Sekou had to do it right. Sekou says some people just not finding out who people are, but I've been doing this for over what? Let's see. I had my Block Talk radio show in 2009. I had Talk Show in 2009. I was doing both of them. 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So this ought to tell you something. I've been doing things since 2009. 2009. So
Journalism.
2009 all
Yes,
the way
because
up to 2000, 2019. That's a decade, right? Now, 2019 and 2009, that's a decade. So, and then I was doing things on Facebook in 2020, right? 2020. And then I was making a couple of appearances on people podcasts between that time, right? So take a give or take. Uh, so that would be 17 years.
that's what's up.
17,
Yeah, that's what's up.
17
That's good.
information.
Yep, that's good. And we glad that you still putting out
Seven
good information. That's good for the people.
and because you came and pulled me out of retirement because I said I wasn't going to do it anymore.
Right, right, right. And I was on YouTube since 2006, and I will peep in and out, but I was mainly observing a lot of shit. And then I started my other channel in 2016, years later. But I done watched a lot of people come and go, that's sharing information, whether it was indigenous or different ideologies, because y'all know I'm your Creole indigenous spiritualist. So I tap into that gumbo pot of the Americas and the diaspora. So I've looked at all these different schools of thoughts over the years, from Pan Africanism to more nationality. I, I've rocked with some of the best people for those ideology. I've talked to some of those people, and I have counseled some of those people in the private. I keep shit confidential. That confidentiality shit. I ain't gonna tell y'all the people that I have counseled in private, but even people that's considered to be masters of the shit, whether you sharing indigenous information or the collective like Creole type information, um, I'm an adept. It's a lot of shit that school of thoughts that I've studied, and I've studied with some of the best of them. So I love when people share real raw facts and they have shit to back it up. I love that. Whoever, whether it's from Creole stuff to indigenous stuff, which is a mixture of things. So I
Well,
appreciate it. I do.
I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but I will say this, right? Why do I stay high? Why do I stay high? Why do I
Why was
stay
I
high?
listening to that today? Stop playing. I ain't heard that in a minute.
You know that was my group, right? You know
you
that was my
already
group.
you already know that's my group.
That was my
Uh
group. I think. Look, I think I could have been one of the bones. You heard me, because my partner used to call me Knowledge Bone. You know what I'm saying?
that's a good one. Oh, yeah, cousin Lashonda. I love you,
I,
girl.
I said, because I was the sixth one. And I can harmonize too. Cuz you heard that shit. Why do
I know I
I?
said you gonna do our fucking theme song. You gonna do that shit and I'm gonna bust a rap, but you playing.
Oh, Angela said she on New Orleans. You went to Super Sunday today? Because I was there.
Yeah, I put it up there. She said New Orleans here. And I'm gonna have to check out Indigenous cowboy history. Yeah, I love that too. Yeah.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
to give a shout out to a person that has been doing people genealogy, and he been having his podcast going on YouTube and TikTok on Mike TV.
Okay, yeah, Mike TV, yeah. I
Mike
rocks with
TV.
him too.
I give a shout out, yeah, yeah. Because I already was talking about that before people. When I came out, I was talking about genealogy. I say go look in the family Bible, right? Look in the obituaries. That's two. Number three,
Okay.
look at the um, baptismal records or four christening records. Five, land deeds, right? Um, Six, court records. Seven, um, the U.S. Census, would take that with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody talking about Walter Plecker, but Walter Plecker wasn't the first to start to reclassify people. It was actually the United States government. Because from me looking at my genealogy records, on my mother's side of the family, not on my father's side, but on my mother's side of the family, both on her mother's side and on her father's side, right? People was being called mulattoes in the 1800s. And when you do the investigation in the 1800s, when they was calling people mulattoes, they was talking about that was those that was Indians, right? And
Yes.
then, and then when you get into the 1900s, like in the 1910 and the 1920 census, that's when they start calling people black and Negroes and colored. But in the 1800s, they was either called mulatto or free people of color. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But then
Yes.
they checked designation in the 1900s, say that a mulatto was a so-called African and a white person mixed. But that wasn't that at first.
Right.
Matter of fact, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. Hold on, they got a website. Oh, let me see if I can pull this up. And people probably want to see this. Hold on. Let's see. I'm glad I brought that up because people need to see that. Hold on. Why do I stay high? Why do I stay high? Why do I stay high? And I think some of them got Indians in their family, or they all have Indian roots.
Yeah. Yeah, they
You heard me,
do.
cuz?
Yeah. Yep, I
It's
always share the
99, it's
picture where they
with your baby.
compare them to those California those dark skinned California Indians. I like that how they paired them up. Find that real quick.
I'm glad I brought this up. I'm glad I brought this up, cuz. Oh, this gonna be beautiful right here. Y'all need to see this right here. Oh, y'all need to see this right here. Oh, man, I put this in one of those groups that bust their motherfucking head open with the red stick to the white meat.
You did.
Right, cuz?
Well, let me know when you're ready. Okay, you got it. Okay.
I'm ready. You can, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I remember you shared this with me too.
Add it up, cuz. You got it.
It's up there.
All right. Y'all see that, people? Y'all see that? This, y'all can pull this up. If y'all can open up your tab on your phone or on your laptop or on your tablets, go to. Let me see if I can give cuz the link to where people can go ahead on and share the link. How let's do this.
Pico said if you have ancestors from Mexico, they reclassified most of the population in 1821 after their revolution. Prior to 1821, the Spanish caste system was used. Yes, I always share that caste system. Um, every chance I get, I share that shit because it shows the evolution and if your daddy was a Moor, if your mama was an indigenous person. They show all those different derivatives with the from mulatto to mestizo, etc. Yes. We share that all the time, Chico.
Hey, now oh, here you go. Um, I'm gonna send this to you, cuz, and you can actually
I like how they got
let
the
the people.
Nagas, Hindustan, Eastern Ethiopia, that with the Nagas, that acronym.
Can you put this in the chat that I sent you in the back chat? Can you put the link? Can you put the link in there? See if they let the link go in there where the people can see the link, where they can click on the link and they can read the link as well. Well, as y'all can see
I
right here,
shared
they
it.
say dealing with um, definitions are being redefined almost daily to fit a political agenda, right? Many honorable individuals are caught in a unable position of censorship and genocide if they dare to speak out in contradiction to this new political agenda. They are contrasted and ridiculed, chastised and ridiculed, and called phonies and frauds. The word mulatto is such a word. The definition in today's world describe it as a person of white and black heritage. Although this is true to a point, they say it is historically false and that it is a oversimplification
Mm-hmm.
from the earliest U.S. Census. Listen, from the
Mm-hmm.
early U.S. Census, the term mulatto was used to describe or free people of color of mixed race,
Mhm. There's something going on with your audio.
which include mixed blood United States governments are found in the 14th Amendment. Okay, y'all can look that up. The tax laws are found in the 14th Amendment. This is why they say Indians tax, right?
Mhm.
Because they had to go back and turn it, but it said in the Constitution when they say Indian not tax, but they came around in the 14th Amendment dealing with the tax laws, right? When they say Indian tax, and the only way that the Indian won't be taxed if they was on the reservation, right? That's in the 14th Amendment. So y'all got to deal with law. Okay, they say in colonial antebellum era, they say historically, in the American South, the term mulatto was applied to persons with mixed Native American and African American ancestry. For example, in
Yeah.
1705, Virginia statute reads as follows: and for the clearing all manner of doubt on the construction, right, um, of this act and any other act, who shall be announced a mulatto, accounted as mulatto, be enacted and declared, enacted and declared
You cutting out. It's something going
that
on
the
with your
child
audio.
of a Indian and the child, this is in the Virginia laws of 1705. Look what it says. Y'all see that, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. They say this classification continued into the 20th century, but it has become a weapon for progressive in their agenda driven pursuing in recent years. One of the hardest community by the new destructive agenda is that of the American Indian. The first contact between the American Indian and other races resolute in mixed blood children. Many of these children grew up in the limbo and without a voice but knew their ancestry. Huh?
Mhm.
Huh? By the time of the creation of the United States, these mixed blood demographic number in the thousands, thousands. For those that stayed in their tribes, they were absorbed into the general tribal population and needed no special category or classification and were not counted on the U.S. Census because the tribe was considered a sovereign nation. However, this was not true for the living within the non Indian communities. The federal government requires one fourth specific of Indian blood to be recognized as such for tribal enrollment. That's the blood quantum, right? As dealing with the five civilized tribes, right? Because they had to do blood quantum, right? Now, Congress and them did away with it, but now some of the nations in them, they still deal with it according to their own reconnaissance, right? They say in the American Indian community, we see tribes rejecting liturgy. Tongue twisted. Rejected legitimate members over personal opinions or vendettas, right? Even when providing proof of one fourth or better tribal blood. But we also see newfound Indian community accepting members with as little as one oh, more than 256 blood degree or less. Though mere statements of conducting lineal descent to a name on a 1890, 1930, and 1950 census rolls regarding of blood quantum. This helped boost their tribal numbers for federal dollars.
Mhm.
Ah, ah, boosted for federal dollars. Somebody getting paid.
Mhm.
And that's what, like, oh, see, they figure because y'all gonna come into the nation, that's when the money start getting depleted less and less because they got to spread the money around. But the more you can keep the niggas out, the more money they keep in their pockets. Okay, we see the game now. Along with this relatively new standard for tribal membership, individuals with less than 1% newly found American Indian blood have been given a voice, where individuals with as much as 50% American Indian blood have none. For example, if a native person is 3/16 Chippewa and 3/16 Sauk and 3/16 Mandy for the Indian because of this. This individual do not show up in tribal enrollment. Wow. Enrollment rolls. They say to add to the disappointment, right, by the late 1830s, the tribes east of the Mississippi had moved west of the Mississippi, leaving many tribal members behind. They talk about the Indian Removal Act, right? They
Mhm.
said as these members, right, integrated into American society, they did not forfeit their Indian blood, but they had no recognition tribal status. The tribal history was handed down from parent to child, grandchild, and great grandchild, right?
Mhm.
Huh. In traditional tribal custom, practice, and heritage were observed. For the United States or U.S. federal census, they became mulatto. You see that? Didn't I say that? But
Mhm.
yet you got assholes like in the group that's called America was Negro land and um the battle what they call that, the battle group and everything, America battle groups and stuff all on Facebook. And I had to drop this in there because one thing was like, you got to show where they classify your people as Indian. They took them and made them mulattoes. Well, why would the fuck they call an African a mulatto if he was an African? It don't make no fucking sense. The dude Eric, because he's supposed to be a Cherokee freeman, and he going at the people in the groups on Facebook. So I dropped that on him. I say, explain this then. The final battle group, yeah. The final battle group on Facebook. I say, explain this shit then.
Yeah.
Right here, it says that the people that was given the tribal history was handed down from parent to child to grandchild and to great grandchild in a traditional tribal custom practices and heritage were observed. For the United States federal census, they became mulatto or free people of color. They were just lumped in with all the other mixed blood races, but their voice as American Indians was removed. But see, they were trying to play games, and I put that in there. I say, here it is right here. Before Walter Platt of the United States, and it was already doing it. This was before Walter Pleckett. Walter Pleckett came like in 1920s. This was right here in the 1800s, going into the 1900s.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a long time.
Right. But people in them thinking that it started with Walter Plecker, and it didn't. It started with the United States government relabeling people.
But that's one that was basically in our century. Most of the people that's on social media, they deal with that. We get that, but we know he not the first.
Right. And then what most people don't even know is that the US Census is under the it's under god damn it. It's under the Department of Commerce. Y'all can look that up. The US Census is under the Department of Commerce. So now, what's the Department of Commerce? But we're gonna look that up after we finish reading this, right? They say in between 1790 and 1870, the majority of mulattoes might be considered mixed blood of American Indian heritage. They say mulattoes were classified as free people of color, while the majority of African Americans at that time was classified as slaves. I'm going to read that again for those that missed it. Between 1790 and 1870, the majority of mulattoes might be considered mixed blood of American Indian heritage. The mulattoes was classified as free people of color, but down here in Louisiana, they say Creole for free people of color, right? While the majority of African Americans at that time were classified as slaves, who has a separate listing regardless of blood quantum for census recordings. By 1870, after the Civil War, these African Americans became free people of color, or better yet, freemans, right? Which expanded the numbers of those classified as mulattoes by the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, because they really
Using,
had that admixture, and they
using
were.
the yeah, using the 1860 U.S. federal census records of Minnesota, we can clearly show this to be a fact. Joseph R. Browning, or Joseph Rap Browning, because that's what the R stands for, Rap Browning, right? Right, right. See, this is what happened when you pay attention in history school, because they always talked about Joseph Rap Browning. Did they not talk about Joseph Rap Browning in school? Cuz do you
Yeah,
remember him?
I remember hearing that
Remember
name.
him?
I
See, most
remember.
people didn't know that.
But I
See,
thought
they
a
say
lot of shit that they were sharing was bullshit. I was like, why the fuck we learn about this? This ain't about us. But go ahead.
oh, but little did you know, but now you're about to find out. That's why I like when you fuck with cuz, you heard me? All right. Joseph Rap Browning was an Indian agent married to a full-blooded South woman. He is listed as white. Mr. Brown's wife is listed as Indian, and their 9 children listed as mulatto. You know why?
Mhm,
Dealing with the belly of the law, or the baby following the belly of the law, right?
mhm,
The children know what the mommy is, right? Because white boys, they love the European admixture, but it's okay. The Minnesota, right? Um,
Pim-
Priam Bay County Census
Pimpina.
has, yeah, county census has the vast majority of Brown's children listed as mulattoes, and we know them to be white and Indian. Attachment 1 and 2. All
Yeah, they got
right.
that little census at the bottom.
Come on. Get off
They
me.
got the French Creoles, Louisiana people, French Indians. They got some little links on here.
Right. And they said that another issue that contribute to the confusion is that during the 1880s and the 1890s on reservations, look on the reservation that caused problem and confusion on the reservation. They say tribal members were all but required to take a white name for government tracking purposes. Say what? Another issue that contributes to the confusion is that during the 1880s and the 1890s, on the reservation, tribal members were all but required to take on white names for government tracking purposes. Beginning with the 1900s federal census, the reservations and reservation boarding schools were now included. Top half of the census page listed names, age, gender, and birthplace, and the bottom half listed their Indian name, tribe, and even blood degree. Attachment 5 and 6. For look what it said, and look, and this is dealing with the census. So y'all can't say, look, this is coming from the government. They say for political purposes, the term mulatto has been hijacked to give a voice to one race only, denying all other historical races. Another issue which further complicate the process of enumerating Indians, right, on people was counting Indian people of mixed blood in the census. It was decided that persons of mixed white and Indian blood living in white communities who were assimilated will be counted as white. Look, they got the U.S. Census right there. They got the PDF file right there. Y'all can click. She put the. Y'all want to save that link. Y'all want to go back over this and read it at your own leisure, right? But do your own investigation. But I dropped this on them. They were like, "Oh shit!" And they say here again, we can show proof that many American Indian mixed bloods were listed as white on the 1850 Minnesota Federal Census. Every name on the many pages is listed as white. An actuality expert from some of the fathers, all are mixed blood Indians. We know this from Indian census and official disposition and applying for the later or the land script right under the mixed blood land script of 1857. See, they got that right there. The disposition of applying for the land script under the mixed blood land script of 1857. Y'all want to look that up. National Archives, Washington, D.C., and the Treaty of Obligations. Huh? Attachment 3 and 4. Y'all can look that up. They say with the 1924 American Indian Citizen Act, this was under President Calvin Coolidge. Okay, damn, I know this fucking history like the back of my motherfucking head. See, yo, what administration it was under in 1924. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. You're gonna be like, damn, this nigga applies the shit. Yeah, Calvin Coolidge, President Calvin Coolidge administration in 1924, the American Indian Citizens Act. The government calculated that roughly over 300,000 American Indians were living in the United States. Man, they had more than that, but hey, I guess that's the ones. Anyway, um, of the number that were 175,000 self-identified but not enrolled members of any tribe, and of the 125,000 tribally enrolled members, the act brought them in for counting on the federal census and protection by the federal laws, which had not existed until then. The American Indian birthright citizenship issue wouldn't be settled until 1924, when the Indian Citizenship Act conferred citizenship on the American Indians. At the time, 125,000 was estimated population. The 300,000 American Indians weren't citizens. They got the link right there. You want to go to that link, check it out. They say we can justifiably assume those numbers to be low, as much mixed blood has been listed as white or mulatto. By the time of the fourth and the fifth generation, these individuals no longer even knew they had Indian blood. I'm going to read that again. We can justifiably assume that the numbers to be low, as much mixed blood has been listed as white or mulatto. By the time that the fourth and the fifth generation, these individuals no longer even knew that they had Indian blood. But yet you hear them talk about the seven generations. Okay, you talk about the seven generations, but the fourth and the fifth didn't know, but yet the six and the seven do? Come on now. Y'all playing games. Y'all, but why y'all saying seven generations, man, that's not long. Seven generations is not long. That's not
No,
long, right?
no. Right, right.
But that was that's crazy. But anyway, um, they say about time the fourth and the fifth generation, these individuals no longer even knew that they had Indian blood. But for many of those families, their history was kept alive through storytelling.
Yes, the
Huh?
oral tradition.
But y'all turn around and say, "Oh, your grandmother was lying." Boy, I wish a motherfucker said that to me, bitch. We gonna fight. My grandmother, what? The pussy that you come out of.
Mm,
Don't play.
yeah,
Don't play with.
they
Don't play
need to
with big.
stop saying that to people because you can't trump. They know them people that saying that they know that how important oral tradition is.
And then the same ones that said that they said, "Well, take the blood test." And then when you tell them to take the blood test, oh, I ain't gotta take it. Why the fuck you ain't gotta take it, but you telling other people to take it?
Right, right. What we gonna find in you on yours? Even though those blood tests do not tell you about all your many great grandparents. G DNA tests are not designed like that. Not the ones that they fucking doing. They not gonna tell you about all of the bloodlines in your blood. They not doing thorough shit like that. They not.
I had one young lady on TikTok. She said, "To all you pretendians out there, I got my DNA test back, and I'm 100% African." I said, "Young lady, I'm like,
Where she get that at?
how? How? I'm gonna see if I saved the link.
No,
I
I'm
think I
just saying, where the fuck she get that at? Because I want to know what company did that shit.
she said she did my ancestry. She said I have 100% African DNA. I said,
Mm.
baby, that's wrong. I said, look at all the rest of the other percentages of the other thing and stuff right there. I said, baby, nobody is 100% anything. That's impossible.
Right,
That's
that's why I'm laughing.
how you will be 100% African when you had Portuguese, you had Spanish, you had British and French colonies in Africa. You don't think the motherfucking people were the fucking African women with their titties hanging out and shit? I mean, I'm just speaking of, I'm talking about back in that time, in the antebellum times,
You
in the
you know that
1700s.
they were having relations.
You know what I'm saying? They was having look at them. Look what happened on Shaka Zulu when they saw them pretty chocolate Zulu women and titties just flopping everywhere and they dancing and stuff. And the boys from England was like, "Oh boy, look what we stole."
We know that they was sprung. So we know that they was having relations. So we know
Yeah.
everybody
So
has
even African, even
admixtures.
even those that they call Africans have admixture because of that. When the French and them was even dealing with the doggone the Hammy and everything, where she said, "I cannot be with the man. He said, well, first half of everything. You know
Stop.
what I'm saying? It's like they even have admixtures on that continent. You know what I'm saying? With the Portuguese and the Spanish and all that there. You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
got admixtures.
Hey, you know.
Unless okay, we know that some of those people of the Caucasian ancestry, I would say, they do some of them do inbreeding and shit. And they
Yeah.
also have children with defects because of that. So when people try to say that they 100%, like, do you have some kind of defects? Like, I want to know.
Do you have an arm where your legs supposed to be? Do you have an elbow by your knee? What's it? What you got? And look, and that's what it said, right? And it said others are just now becoming aware through DNA and have begun looking for the needle in the haystack. See, we just get to the DNA part now. Look at the DNA conclusions on the indigenous people, and most professionals agree this term refers to those of the American North, Central, and South America because separating them is all but impossible. But using the word indigenous, an individual who connects to the southern tip of Argentina can now speak for the Native American, North American Indians, while at the same time denying actual North America Indian who actually know their lineage or history or they say Kenneth Apperson, PhD, in his May 2007 dissertation paper, which is now cited numerous times, write that the Creole of mixed black and white heritage, which that's wrong.
Right,
Um, the
exactly.
question becomes how this determines was brought about and why it was a false conclusion and misleading. Again, we see a distorted picture using less than half the facts are geared towards eradicating and giving voice to one race and sponsored over, and overseen by so-called educators. They say even Dr. Atkinson, writing in his reference the Creole term, leaving out obvious factual information that does not fit his agenda driving writings. Have we entered a new policy resembling the 1950s Indian Termination Act? Didn't, didn't I speak about that last week when it was talking about the Indian Removal Act in 1950? But most people didn't know about that. When it was taking people off the reservation and putting them in the hood, in the urban areas. That's how they
Urban Indians, yeah, we've talked about that before.
uh-huh. Yeah. That's how old girl mama met her daddy. Her mama is Lakota and her daddy was black. And I remember I asked her, I said, what's your daddy nationality? She said, my daddy black. I said, black not a nationality. But anyway, but hey, um, but they said the only difference is that one is driven by the educational system instead of the federal government. So this wind up happening, but you can't sue the school system because your parents and them willingly sent you to the school to be taught. So when they taught you that you were slaves and you came from this, and it's like, hold on, you don't know my family, bro. How you gonna assume that my family is this, this, and this? But it comes down to Black History Week before it became Black History Month, you know, right? So it say instead of the federal government, so you had the school system doing it, and you had the federal government doing it, and you have the links that's right here. I'm not going to click those links, but she gave you the link where everybody can go ahead on and click it and stuff before
Yeah,
y'all
I
say
gave
that.
them another link because that one you gave me, it was too long. I just gave them the link from the website. I put it in the chat. Um,
Okay. Okay.
Here it
Okay.
is,
So you
right
get
here.
that. Okay. They say we have now reached the time for some conclusion, and that the purpose of this writing. They say where today activists, regardless of race, right? Because the people that say regardless of race, have many years of manipulation or manipulated the truth to giving a voice to the ideological point of view while censoring opposing opinions as well as contributing facts. One can only conclude nothing. I mean, yeah, nothing, and not a single word coming from their mouth is believable. As we clearly shown prior to 1870, the vast majority of mulattoes in the United States were American Indians. Uh huh. And I got that on my records. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah. And it said in American Indians, they said this classification continued until the 1930s. Uh huh. It's not clear just when the definition of mulatto changed to fit a political agenda. Again, we can assume it took place around 1973, before I was born, when the APA changed its long held standards from scientific research and data collection to a strictly our uh, ideological focus. Ideology focus. They say, wow, this is crazy. And
Yeah,
candidly, with the definition of redskins also change along with the same time frame. Identically, the definition of redskins also change along with this same time frame.
yeah.
But
This is why
yet, who?
people look at the original definitions first.
Right. I didn't be that these definition of redskins also change along with the same time frame. They say whereas a tiny but vocal groups of non-Indian elite educators and Indian activists are now using these false claims to censor opposing views, including American Indians. The truth is more viral today than ever before, with the fabrication of false definition of mulatto and others to mean black and white heritage. They use the new definition to like us, right? The biggest question becomes why is the educational system work so hard to eradicate the American Indians? And see, and they giving you whoever the person is, they giving you records showing WTS census where people was labeled as mulattoes.
Hmm. Yeah.
And they said that the headquarters is in North Dakota, right? Devil Lake, North Dakota. So yeah, and they said, and this was in 2026, so this was not too long recently done. The Native American Guardian Association, education,
Well,
not eradicate.
they just updated their
So,
copyright. That's why I got
okay, well,
26. Yeah.
they did
But
a
yeah,
good damn. They did. They did a good damn job with this.
yeah. Yeah, I like how they are confirming what we've been saying, that mulatto meant that you have indigenous ancestry, the misnomer black and American Indian ancestry versus the black and white. That definition came later when they revamped. They always trying to revamp some shit to go with their little funky ass agenda. Whenever they trying to erase, do paper genocide, whether that's to take our land, our identity, blah blah blah, they just always trying to rewrite history and shit. It gets on my nerves. They've done so much, too much to even discuss.
What's happening, Reese? What's going on with you? Yeah, how you told Reese? Yeah, Reese just came in and
Yeah, he
everything,
been
you
in
know.
here.
But yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah,
I was on the other thing. I just came back to the main link, you know.
I know. Mm.
But yeah, but yeah, as y'all can see, you know, hey, they did that was a good dissertation right there. They put the work in.
Yeah, it just confirmed that we have admixtures. We have admixtures,
Right.
and somebody that's
Well,
don't recognize
we
that
don't
they got
deny.
admixtures, they are lying to themselves.
Right. Now they have one indigenous guy from another nation, and he's supposed to. I forgot he's supposed to be from a nation from off the west coast. And when he did his DNA, he was like, "Oh wow, oh wow," like yeah. He said that. Oh, excuse me. He said that he stands in solidarity with us. You know what I'm saying? Because he said I have to embrace my admixture.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what's up.
and that's the thing. We don't deny our admixture.
Mm.
You got one person saying you're a West African. I say, well, when I did my DNA for my heritage, it didn't only show that I had tied to West Africa. It showed that I had ties to Central Africa and I had ties to Northeastern Africa. So how you just gonna circumvent me and just regulate me just to the West African part of West Africa,
'Cause
but
they
my
just,
blood is not only in West Africa, but it's in Central Africa and Northeastern Africa.
they just regurgitating what they heard somebody else say. They ain't did no research.
And then, like when the young lady said that she have 100%, no, baby. What they're talking about, and everybody, please get this, because I'm tired of people reading the percentages wrong. The percentages is not saying that's how much of each percentage that you found in your DNA is that, right? They're not talking about you 100% African or you're 100% Native American. No, this what it's dealing with. It's dealing with matching population. That's what it's dealing with. It's dealing with the matching population of the people in those areas. If you got 45% of West African, that's the percentage of the people, not the percentage of you. It's the percentage of the people that your DNA matches dealt with. Anybody can pull that up. Cuz, can you pull that up where it shows it's stuff where it says that the percentage is dealing with the matching population? For these people can know this is what the DNA talking about. Because for her to say, oh, I got 100% African. How the fuck you gonna be 100% African? That's impossible. People that need to know this dealing with the genetics. It's saying that it's dealing with the population, the matching population, the matching population. Your blood sequence matching population of those people in that area. That's what it's saying.
Well, that's why it helps people find like they long lost cousins and etc. Shit like that. Okay.
I'm gonna answer that question, but let me see. But if we can agree on this point in time that we are just American, why do we need to look for Africa? Guess what? If you really want to be technical, you really want to be technical. Most people don't even much know where the word Africa comes from because it doesn't come from your boy. That's the Italian. What they say? American American
Vespucci.
Rasputin. It doesn't come from him. The word America actually comes from a mountain range that's down there in Baru. Notice I say Baru, not Peru, but Baru. The Spaniard, well, the Castilians couldn't pronounce it right. They say Peru, but you have to remember the B and the P was interchangeable. So now they call it Peru. Down there, that was the name dealing with the Ameriquis and them, the name of the Indians and them named that island, named that mountain range the Ameriquis. That was the name of it.
Yeah, we read that on here before.
Some podcasts go how many years ago? Like a year ago, because we about to come up to our second year.
Yeah.
So really, you don't supposed to call yourself an American because that's the name of a mountain range. You're not from that mountain range, so why call yourself American? I'll say this, right? This is what you're supposed to do when you tribal, right? Ani, Chatupa, Portocalago, Kawatali, Yati Yamasi. All right? That's what you're supposed to say. Once again, that's their documents. The people never called themselves American Indians. They never called themselves American Indians.
Yeah,
That
but
is a
I get what they saying. You want to call yourself by your tribal nation's name and your
right.
tribal name.
That's what I just
Yes.
yeah.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But basically, they focus on American Indian versus Native American, which, there are arguments about which is the better term, etc., to describe, etc.
That's their term to trying to describe you. But yet you supposed to say who you are. Fuck what they say. Oh, you're American Indian, or you're a Native American, or you're Aborigine. No,
Say what your
you
tribal
supposed to
name.
say who you are from your family.
Right. Exactly.
If you supposed to be of the Shatta people, you'll be like Halito, Chickachikma, Chickamahoki, Shatasai, Shataokla, right?
Like you say, Bayugula or Homa.
Right. All right. I know what my family is on my mama's side with Cherokee, and on my daddy's side is Pascal Pascal Bay. Okay. I hope I pronounced that right. But okay. But you are you are your mother's child. So therefore you would be unaware.
Yeah, even though you do have some, yes, you go by the matrilineal, the
Wait, wait, wait,
mitochondrial.
wait, 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 wait. Hold on. No, no, no,
You
no,
have
no, 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 no.
you have
Because they
some of
just said
your
both.
father
She
too.
said, no, he or she just said both are creeks. No, Cherokees are not creeks. Cherokees are not creeks.
Unless he's saying both have creek on each side, unless that's what he's saying or she's saying.
No, look at the comment. I know
No,
my
I'm saying
family.
maybe we don't know the context. Is that what they're saying? I'm just saying if both sides, like I know, like on my mother and father's side, they both have a similar tribe in common. So
But that's not what it said right here in the comments, though,
it just
cuz.
says
Look what
both
it
are
says.
creek. I know. Maybe he didn't add all the other information. I just want to know, is he saying that he has creek on his mama's side and his daddy's side and he just didn't mention it? Because I know with my parents I have several different tribes on each side and one common one.
But he gotta put in a better context. He said, I know my family is on my mama's side, the Cherokee.
He said creek is
No,
the
no, no, Creek is not the original terminology. No, it's not. And see, and this is the problem. This is the
well,
problem
but,
that we
but
have.
help him.
But I just told them they're not Creeks. The
Okay.
Cherokees are not Creek,
All right. All right.
and nobody didn't call themselves Creek. That's an English term.
Right. Right.
That was a political designation term, Creek. The people were not called Creeks. That was a political
Right. It's an invented name.
right. Is another political construct.
Are
I'll
you
put it like that in legal terms.
are you
That's a political construct.
Ochesi, Muskogee, Yamakra? Like what were your people?
You still don't get it, bro. You still don't get it.
Eh,
You still don't get it. I just told him. I just told him. See, and this is the connotative dissonance that the people need to be dealing with. I don't have time for it.
Okay, so let's be patient with people because okay. So, sir, Casino C79. So, even this here, we just doing a soft Google. And I just put in a soft Google question. What is
Oh
the
my.
indigenous name for creeks? What's the indigenous name for creek? The indigenous name for the people known as creek is Muskogee or Muskogee in their traditional spelling. They historically referred to themselves as Este Muskogee,
And
people
that's
of
even wrong because Muskogee is a
the
language, not a people.
right,
The people
right,
name are
right.
called
Just
Muspa.
right. Okay. And the Ochesi
I'm
Creek,
not new to this shit. I'm true to this shit. This is why I keep trying to keep telling motherfuckers. I'm not new to this shit.
even
I'm trying
though
to
it
give you the
says
information.
this,
I'm not new
right,
to this. Creek
Mosque,
is a creek is a political term that was
right,
used.
right.
Just like Muskogee is political use. There was no tribe called Muskogee. The people are called Muspa. It was not called Creeks. They were called Muspa. The Muspa people language was called Muskogee. There was not Creeks until the invention of the Creek Nation dealing with the British.
Right. Isn't there a book that is called The Invention of the Creek Nation that he can read? A
Yes,
book reference? Yes.
yes.
Uh-huh.
They give
Let's
you the
let me
record
pull,
how they became known as the Creek.
let me pull that up.
This was me and Wale breaking it down
Okay.
before the so-called colonizers came in the 1500s. We go
This
before that.
Here's a book reference for you, Casino C79. Here's a book reference. It says the invention of the Creek Nation, 1670 to 1763.
Then that's
Let's
when they became a confederation. Dealing with the
so
Creek
here's a
Confederation.
book.
Before that, that was no Creek Confederation. There was no people called Creeks.
Yeah, so it's here's a book about it. So if you want to read in depth about the Creek Nation, here's a book, The Invention of the Creek Nation. I know that that is a misnomer that they use. Like my granny, she even told me that I had Creek in my blood. So I get it, but you want to know the original names. You want to research it. Here's a book reference for you.
That's a political construct. Creek is a political construct. Muskogee is a political construct.
Yeah, that's a we know that that's a language. But yeah, let's see. It will it let me read this book. Sometimes it's limited preview. Yep, that's that bullshit. Limited preview. But this is the book. So you want to get this book.
Well, actually, you can borrow it. You can borrow it.
Yeah,
You
I
can click
know,
see
but
right there. Borrow.
I ain't going through all that. I'm gonna find another one of it. The invention of the creek. It says borrow unavailable.
Oh,
Okay.
it's unavailable. Okay. This is how we are able to break down what my nephew broke down in his book, The Blue Fire and the Green Fire, because we
Okay,
know
let's
the
see.
stories.
I think I found another one. Let's see. Oh, they getting savvy with the shit.
Thank you,
Okay.
man. Thank you. But yeah, read that book. That book tell you about how everything came about, how they was like, you know what, we ain't gonna fuck with y'all, but we gonna fuck with y'all, and y'all gonna become known as the Creek Nation and everything, you know. All that shit was done for political reasons.
Yeah, peace to everybody in the chat, those who have joined us, those your first time. Kusada ran, Kusati ran. Everybody,
My
the
my,
new
my thing
people,
is this. My thing is
we
this.
appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all, but I'm like this. I have patience. When I drop that information, I drop the information. I want you to go and investigate what I say. Don't think that you know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we share some book references for you to check it out.
Right. Don't
And
take
then,
my word for it.
you can
Everybody
come
be
back
talking about,
and
oh, let's go
holler
to
at
the
us
Muskogee. Like, no, the Muskogee is a language. It's a
after you
language.
check it
And not
out. You
only is a
can
language, it's a trade
holler at us.
language. At that, Muskogee is a trade language.
Like the Mobilian trade language. Okay, sir.
Right.
Let's see. Once you check out that book, come back and holler at us. Casino C79. After you check out this book.
Yeah, please get that book. It shouldn't cost that much. What's the price of the book now?
Mm-hmm.
You probably could get it from Amazon,
Yeah,
or you probably
Amazon,
could
that
get it from eBay,
eBay. Mm-hmm.
or you could get it from Bones and Nobles. Oh, you already know, fam. He says it's on Amazon for sure, Reese. Yeah, that's that. That's the book that because you will see how the United States government was moving pieces around and thinking it was going to do a checkmate. You wanna get the book. Don't get the PDF file because just like me and my nephew, Wale Origins, when I presented him information dealing with a PDF file, he had got that, but he wound up buying the book. And when he bought the book said something totally different from what the PDF file said.
Sometimes it is different because I know I have a book, and this one book I was
And the
looking at,
book
and I have the
and the book
physical
was
book, so slightly
yeah,
different. Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
book
but
was in more detail. It was in more detail. The book
yeah,
was in more detail, right?
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like when you go watch a movie, you'd be like, well, you watching the movie, but have you read the book? Because if you read the book, you'll understand the movie better.
right, right. Well, until you get the book, start reading the PDF until you get the physical book in your hand. Cause still, PDFs they do serve their purpose. They introduce you to the shit so that you can
Right,
research more. So it's still useful. PDFs don't play because I got some PDFs and I got physical books.
right. They sure did, cuz they sure did. There was some airware in them that actually sided with the red sticks of the MIC, and then you had some that was white sticks that turned on the MIC. Yeah, that is like a Bible, so to speak. Yeah, you want to get it because it tell you how everything started happening in the
Yeah,
southeast.
I thought I had that.
Because it's just like when I asked the question when I was on the autonomous party, I asked everybody this question: why did the United States government? And I'm gonna ask y'all this question. I want y'all to give me the answer. I said, why did the United States government pick Oklahoma beside out of all the other states that was on the west of the Mississippi? Why they chose Oklahoma and they didn't put them nowhere else? Why? Why they chose Oklahoma?
And what did you tell them?
I said, oh, they sent them back to the west from which they came because most people don't know that the Muskogee and them people called Muskogee, right? So-called Muskogee people or the Moose Spot, they came from the west. They're not originally from the east. They came from the west into the east. That's what we've been speaking about. When they came from the west, they came from the west warmongering against those that was in the east already. So all the thing that the United States and them did was brought them back west. But see, I gave y'all the answer. So y'all didn't have to give me the answer. I gave y'all the answer. Which I didn't supposed to give because I asked the question. They're supposed to have answered it. Did you say, well, what did you say?
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes people don't be having time for question and fucking answer. They want to know the fucking answer. So that's
No,
why
they
that's
in
why I
motherfucking
said
school.
that's
They're in
why
school of life. They're in
that's why
school of
I
life.
said that
They're in
shit.
school of life. All the time they are supposed to give the answer to be holding a motherfucking hand all the time.
Give
They
them,
gotta use their brain.
but sometimes they gotta get information because they don't have it.
Right, cuz you're absolutely right. The Reds they tend to be more full bloods, and that's what they did. They started removing the full bloods out of the governmental role and everything, and letting the half breeds get in position of chiefs and stuff, as you can see with the five civilized tribes. Because there was Negro Indians that signed those treaties, right? Panlanders Treaty, the Dancing Rabbit Creek Treaty. That was all Negro Indians that signed that. The 1866 treaties, that was Negro Indians.
NegroIndian.
That didn't change until after
Oh,
the 1890s. That's when you start seeing the mixed European families and them European mixed chiefs start to come about. Right. That's what people don't understand. You had the red sticks fraction, you had the white sticks fraction of the government. The white stick was the ones that followed the
the peace.
governmental structure of the United States, where the chiefs be elected for 4 years. They're not standing there traditionally as a traditional chief. A traditional chief is a chief for life until he passes away,
And
or
passes it down.
until he fucks up, and the clan mothers and the tribal council be like, nah, bro, you done fucked up. We gonna remove you as being chief. But do they do that today? Nope. They gotta be voted out.
Yeah, it's a different time.
They're not doing traditional shit like that. It's just like when you got the so-called Muskogee and them, they went back to Georgia, and Georgia then was like, oh yeah, we happy to have the Muskogee here because they've been gone for 200 years. And it was like a lady that's from the Muskogee Nation of Oklahoma. She was like, yes, we back in our ancestral homeland and everything. And I'm like, bitch, you know that's not your ancestral homeland. The
Oh my
fuck?
God.
That's not your ancestral homeland. Your ancestral homeland came from down south, beyond Mexico.
You talking about that lady like that.
Tell the truth and shame the devil, as the old folks say.
You talking about that lady like that.
I use the voice, I use the term bitch in the proper way.
You talking about that lady like that.
I mean, a bitch could be a warrior. You know what I'm saying? I got two bitches in the room now,
Well,
and
I mean,
they're very much warriors. They crazy
yeah,
about their daddy.
we get the female dog thing, but okay. So
But why she had to lie like that? Why she lied to say that was her ancestral homeland? That's not your
because
ancestral
because
homeland.
somebody told her that and she believed it. That's
Y'all
why.
migrated there. That's not your ancestral homeland came from the south. Now prove me wrong. I'm waiting for them to call me from Oklahoma. I'm waiting for them to call from Oklahoma.
All they got to do is when people ask them questions like that, they need to research so they can get a proper answer. But sometimes they going off of what they elder is saying to them, and they not fact checking.
They got a video. They got a video of their elders saying that they came from down south and they came up and them came from out the west to go to the east.
Oh, okay,
Their own elder, their own. So she couldn't get that from the elder because the elder said on live.
okay. Well, she
Hold
wasn't
on, matter
paying
of fact,
attention. She wasn't paying attention
hold
then.
hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that video.
She wasn't paying attention then, huh?
Let me see. Because on White play it all the time on his podcast. Let's see. Let's go.
So, it says that some of the Muspa just say they disappear from history, although they believe they may have merged in the Seminoles.
The moose spot does not disappear. The moose spot
I know.
is the
You know
Muskogee
how they
known as
say
the
people disappear and that they extinct. We know that they lying.
And how they gonna talk about they extinct? That's like they said that the Yamasi extinct and we not.
Right. Right, right, right. But they good to say that, but they are saying that some of them were merged or absorbed into the Seminole or
Well, let me
immigrated
ask you
to
this.
Cuba.
Let me ask you this. How can somebody be extinct and
But
merge with somebody?
right, right. I mean, that is the $1,000,000 fucking question.
See, let me see. Because they've been acting crazy when you're trying to play the video. Uh, it's not letting me find it. It's not letting me find it. Oh, it's dirty dog. Did it? They're not letting me find it. Let me see. It is an old black and white video. God dog it. I'm gonna have to get that clip from him because it's not letting me do it. Yeah, it's not letting me find it. Oh, it's not letting me find it. Uh, yeah, it's not letting me find it. It's not letting me find it. But it's okay though. But guess what? I may not find it today, but guess what? I have it next week. I tell you that. Oh, that's Wikipedia. The
I
Moose
know.
Tribe was the name of a town with a group of Calusa people, and they were indigenous people in southwestern Florida in the early historical period. No, that's not right. They migrated there. They migrated there. That's a code for they was turned into slaves. Bruh. But you have actually Europeans in them know that these people migrated from the west to come over there. They know Georgia and the southeast was not the so-called Muskogee homeland. They know this.
Yeah, we
But
did
by
a whole
niggas,
podcast about
but by
this.
niggas doing that, then it go over their head.
Yeah, we did a whole podcast about that. Yep. So, any last comments or questions? Because we gonna shut it on down. We've been on here 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Right. But yeah, I pointed out how people lied about Louis Ali bloodline, right? Trying to tie him to a bloodline. If he a Moorish American, how the hell he gonna have a Cherokee father in a tunica or Washington mama? That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But hey, people in them lying, they lying to have followers and to get money and shit. I
Yeah,
don't
so
to lie to nobody. I ain't got time for this shit. Y'all should
yes,
be tired of lying. That if y'all was saying that the pale face lied to y'all, now y'all got niggas in them lying to y'all, and it's okay. It's okay for a nigga to lie to you. All right.
this is not okay. It's not oh fucking K. It's not. Clearly, it's not.
We all grown. Why just tell the truth? Why lie? You don't need to
Right.
lie.
Yeah, so Pa did rebuke the people spewing misinformation about
They the ones that, because you
the
know,
the Washita misnomer Moors. He dispelled that shit earlier, and then we spoke about the green corn. We're counting down to green corn. It's May 8th, according to the Yamasee tribe of Seminoles. They are celebrating May 8th. So,
because look, I got a partner, right? I got a good partner, and
oh,
he was like he's Hebrew, right? He claimed to be Hebrew, but he said that his mom and them people is, I forgot what nation it was, but it's gonna come to me while we talking. He was like, yeah, dealing with the green corn and everything, that's like the Hebrews and stuff because we had the celebration of the first fruit. I say, nigga, corn is not a fucking fruit. Corn is a grain. Stop trying
yeah,
to make the indigenous people of the Americas Hebrew.
right, right, right.
Corn is not a fruit. Corn is a fucking grain. Y'all Hebrews and them have the first fruit. That's your ceremony. Don't try to make the first fruit ceremony and dealing with the fruit and trying to be indigenous in the southeast. No, that shit don't work like
Right.
that.
I,
He was like,
if
damn,
you
bro,
would
why
have
you have to
said
say it like
would
that? I'm
have
like,
said
I
it's
mean,
an
fucking,
allegory, I could like see where he was coming from, but he didn't say it's an allegory. He believed that shit, so I
yeah, he
can't
believed
even.
it. And I bust that shit open quick. I'm like, no. And I say, matter of fact, it's not even much fucking corn, it's maize. All right? That's what we call
Right,
maize.
my
Corn is
AIDS.
hybrid. Corn was the
Right,
hybrid. That's why the motherfucker yellow. That's the
right.
shit that was people up and
Well,
everything.
in essence, we should be saying green maize ceremony, but
Yeah.
you know, or different words for corn in the different tribal nation languages. So
Mm-hmm.
one would be Selu. So yeah. So
He got us, yeah, salute.
Selu for the
And that almost sound like French because you know the French in them say salut, but that's a homophone thing. It don't mean the same thing. I mean, it has
right.
this
It does
almost
not
same stuff, same sound, but it's not the same thing. It's just homophone.
like even like this the similar sounds of like you said your name and you said Coatli. Coatl is snake. Um like in the name of Quetzalcoatl is the feather serpent. So it's similar, but the word is similar, but the meaning is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, y'all, we winding this down because we know
Anybody
Pa
got
can
any-
all night.
I
Public
want.
announcement
I
Pa
really wanted to see. I really
all
wanted to see what JoJo had to say, though. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to see what JoJo had to say. I just was waiting. My ears was tuning in
I,
just to hear
I know you was welcoming that drama, wasn't you?
yeah.
Shit,
You
I
know,
was.
this my motherfucking month. This Aries season, baby.
Hey,
You don't know?
hey, I flow with that balance shit. If hey, I'm the judge, justice, and fucking executioner, and I will execution people and block them and delete.
I'm cutting up already. Look, shit, my birthday right around the corner. But yeah,
So JoJo, Pa wanna holler at you. You go ahead and message him.
Jojo Jojo
Because
still in the
JoJo
chat.
ain't said shit in the chat. I asked JoJo to put the subject matter in the chat. JoJo did not do so. And I put that disclaimer out. I said if it's on some you coming in love, you gonna share the subject matter, and then I'll share the link. But
And the only and the only JoJo that I know is from the Powerpuff Girls.
well, maybe JoJo will come back next week. And you
Oh Lord.
you come to share
And I use
some
that time.
knowledge with us, some facts. You gonna give us some oral tradition or some book references, something constructive. You know what I'm saying? Something of substance. But if you coming on here to start shit, nah, we ain't taking that shit.
And
So
y'all need to stop saying things to make people call y'all pretending. That's the only thing I'm saying. Stop
yeah,
saying why niggas just can't leave the fucking Bible alone. I don't understand. If you're supposed to be
because
tribal,
it's
let
it's
the Bible
it's
shit.
group think. It's hard for some people to snap out of the God spell, the gospel, to snap out of it. It's hard for some people, you know. Some people they in there way deep, like that movie, what Get Out, how he was in the sunken place. It takes a
Hmm.
while to climb out of that motherfucker. So well, we will be on here next Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, y'all. We appreciate y'all support and just coming on here vibing with us. We do share the
And
link.
I'm just provoking shit in love. That's all. Yeah, I don't
Right.
mean no home. Like if you took it as being homeful, don't take it personal, baby. It's just misinformation that I'm busting up. I'm not attacking the people. I'm attacking the misinformation, and I'll put that out there. I'm attacking the misinformation because I don't know you personally to attack you. You know what I'm saying? If I called you a bitch, you know that's how we say that. Man, you know that bitch lying, man. Oh, that nigga lying. Don't take it personal. You know, just like Bernie Mac said, motherfucker take place of a person, place, or thing. You some of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, he rest in peace too. That's my boy. But yeah. But yeah, don't take it personal. It's just the
Yeah.
misinformation.
We don't like misinformation, and that's just that. That's just that. So y'all get the gist. So we appreciate y'all. We're gonna close out cause we gonna bring up another subject and your ass gonna be on and popping again. So you know. So
Yeah,
we
I'm gonna see
appreciate
if I can get that clip. I'm gonna see if I can get that clip of the Muskogee elder speaking about how
yeah,
they like.
yeah, yeah. And then we can share that next week.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, y'all. We
All
out.
right, y'all have a good. You showed the merch again. You showed the merch again
I
in
showed the
everything.
merch at the beginning in great detail. I sure did.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the
yeah,
link is in the description. If y'all want to support. Cool. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.
yeah. Y'all have a good
Peace.
night. Y'all have a good one. All right, one. Why do I stay high?
I
Oh,
have pulled it up. This is the likeness that I like right here. I have pulled that up. That likeness. Because those are
yay!
yeah,
Yay! Look,
that's
you let them see it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Y'all see that? Y'all
yeah.
see that? Y'all see that? That's my group right there. That's the only group that I know that went head on and actually rap with Tupac and Biggie. They
Yes,
did it with
and
both.
ECE.
And
Listen,
Easy E
you're
also.
not gonna listen. You're not gonna get me started. Stop, halt, halt,
Easy E
halt,
brought them on.
halt.
Easy E brought them on, and then they rap with Tupac after Easy E, and then they rap with Biggie.
This is my group, but I just showed this to show the comparison of these California Indians of 1822. They have a similar likeness
Look at that
to
hairstyle. Look at the
my
hairstyle.
my favorite hip hop rap group. Okay. So, but we're gonna
More
close on that
murder,
note.
more
You're not gonna
murder, more
you're not gonna
murder,
get
more
me started.
murder, more murder, more murder, more murder, more
Peace,
murder,
y'all.
more
We
murder,
out.
more
We
murder.
out. We out. We
Hey!
out. We are out. Peace.
All right, Joe. You have a good night.